Hello everyone, this is a LEGO Minecraft set called The First Adventure. Now, this is specifically inspired by not Bedrock or Java Edition Minecraft, but rather Minecraft Earth, the VR/AR experience that unfortunately was announced to be canceled or announced to be winding down before this set was even able to come out. This is a 3-level terrain-focused set with 2 player characters, just normal ones, Steve and Alex, we've gotten a billion times before, a couple of regular skeletons, and then 3 mobs that are exclusive to Minecraft Earth. I want to show these first because they are also exclusive to this set, and I think they're the most valuable and interesting things in this set. First of all, the Moo Bloom, the flower-laden yellow cow there, just has an exclusive print and color for the head there to create just a yellow cow, and then everything else is just built up using normal pieces, so that that's a good thing. And then the horned sheep is just a regular sheep with extra pieces to add on the horns. It's awkward looking, but it's actually pretty accurate to the in-game model, to be honest. It just could have used a little bit of printing on that corner tile piece there, the L-shaped tile piece, but otherwise, I mean, that's about right. And then the last one over here is a dyed cat, something I personally had not heard of before, and it doesn't seem to have actually made it into the game. It was planned for it, but the game being shut down and all development being stopped, put a stop on everything, including this. But I think that it still is an interesting collectible LEGO Minecraft mob, and you can always just use it as a different color of cat in your world. It's nice to get that exclusive lavender color for the head, and the production of the print for the face is fine. Quickly, before I get into details of the terrain and structure, I wanted to give this a spin so you can see what it looks like from different angles, including the camera less friendly angles, ones that aren't really optimized. So, you've got some relatively open space around here, but you can see that this is accessible and usable from the different angles. It just has a few Technic pieces that are a little bit off in their color, that stand out a little bit, kind of break the illusion, break the immersion a bit. But overall, it's fairly consistent. It just has this L shape as viewed from the top. The lowermost level is set on just a single layer of basic plates, and it gives you access to 3 different action features. One is right there in the center. You've got the standard minecart track system that LEGO has been using for some time now, although unfortunately this is not designed to connect to any of the previous sets using this system, but potentially you could at least use the parts. But this just has a plunger on the opposite side. I'm going to reach around and hit that to show you that, well, you can move that across. Big whoop, right? That's not that big of a deal, not that great of a thing. This is kind of trying to look like an abandoned mine shaft under here. By far the coolest integration, in my opinion, is this area over here on the right, where they've really hidden away the mechanism for it very, very, very effectively. This is the actuator, this block over here, and you actuate it by turning this. So I'm going to turn it towards myself, or anti-clockwise, and it's just going to break open a brick. I guess I should do it with a little bit more force than that, a little bit more pizzazz. There we go. Down comes some lava. So the idea is that maybe some of that was gravel there, and you get that out of the way, or perhaps just a block, and you messed up and didn't realize that there was source lava behind it, and this comes out. And that's nice how it actually has the angle to it. As it's angled right now, it is studs on the side, but previously it was studs up, and that just comes down, knocks the piece out of the way in front, and then spills before you. That's pretty cool. The other side, meanwhile, has a water elevator on it, and that is completely manually operated. There's just a little ring that goes around the outside, has a couple of studs that stick out with a little plate there that allows you to place a figure there, and then you can just raise this up. You just, oops, well, that actually makes it easier for me to get in there. Just raise this up to go up to the next level, and then there's a catch on the other side that will stop that from falling back down, and that's a small mechanism over here. It's kind of obvious with the little Technic beam there, but it's just stopping all of this from moving at all. It's kind of locked in place, but you can use the elevator in the opposite direction simply by moving this out of the way, and down that goes. That's actually pretty perfect right there. The next, oh look, I just keep pulling blocks off of this thing because there actually are quite a number of these easy to access, easy to remove blocks. So I've got the diamonds there, and then these are just some cobble or whatever that's supposed to represent. Some of these dirt blocks are removable as well, easily, like so. Those will be falling all over the place. This next level up has more of the minecart track, and it has one more feature as well. You can see it just right here. It's another good integration. You know, it doesn't scream at you, doesn't talk to you too loudly, and this just just breaks. So it's a little launcher that takes an entire section of track out of the space and, you know, just breaks the track so that you're not able to continue on. Although if you made the turn here and you had enough momentum, you might be able to just make it there. However, there's not enough track in total because, yeah, there's just not enough track here at all. So you can't really honestly do all that much with that. Iron ore back there, coal ore over here, and one torch. There's only one torch in this entire set. I think that's the fewest torches, or the lowest torch to block ratio of any Lego Minecraft set to date. And then here's the topmost level with one of the types of flowers there, and this is a bit of a sand trap, you could call it. It's where some sand has been generated without anything beneath it, so as soon as you disturb the area, all those sand blocks will just go tumbling down on their own. They're all connected to each other. You know how that works if you play the game. And the actuator for that is just a simple little tab on the side that is the same color. It's just tan. So again, it doesn't stand out too much. And you just pull this out. All those blocks simply fall down, which makes enough sense to me. You know, adds a little bit of action there. Birch tree, got your little furnace right there. Crafting table, a little bit of unexplained fence for some reason. I don't know why exactly that's there, but obviously we're just seeing a tiny slice of the world, a little bit of a chunk, you know, a cross section, a cutaway of a chunk. And then this is just a small tree of some sort, probably just a very, very small oak, and another different type of flower over there. And again, some of these blocks can be easily removed, you know, to just move them around and do different things, which is, you know, I think pretty fundamental and good as a general feature and a general just a standard to have, to make as many of these blocks easy to remove as opposed to creating all large structures that are all tied together. When it comes to minifigs, we've already seen these skeletons a lot in the past, so I'm not going to give them any special play in this. There's nothing new, nothing different about them. And then there are these two, Steve and Alex. And if you've seen any Lego Minecraft sets in the past, you've probably seen these. They have been included so many times in just these basic garbs, you know, just these basic configurations with the pickaxe there and a sword. Both of those are iron, which is fine. And keep in mind that this is the first and only ever Minecraft Earth set, so I have to give them a little bit of allowance to include just the basic player characters. Again, I will say that the print for Steve's head there is darn near perfect. It's probably the best Steve head print I've ever seen. It is very opaque and very well produced. The Alex face is not as good. You know, the eyes aren't perfect and the opacity for the skin tone is not all there. You know, compared to what it should be, it's letting a little bit too much of the orange through, but fortunately, you know, that doesn't really hurt very much, as opposed to with the Steves, when they don't print those well enough, it just shows up looking really, really bad with the light against dark. Last up, these are the leftover pieces, and no stickers were used in the creation of this set. All right, what about price? I paid 70 emeralds for this, or 70 US dollars. And given that it comes with just 542 pieces, and many of those pieces are just basic bricks, you know, or basic plates. It has some large-ish pieces, larger than average pieces, but not a lot of them. It also has a fair number of very small pieces, stud-sized pieces and such. I don't feel like the value here is that good. The overall size, the outer size of it feels like it had $70 potential, but it's so empty, especially when you do like this, look from this side. You know, there's really not that much going on with this. I think the overall design is nice. I like the integration of the different basic fundamental action features that make sense for this universe. I think they're integrated, you know, pretty well. I think they work well for play. And I like the mobs. I'm keeping those for sure. Those are going straight into my custom Minecraft area, even though, I'm basing my stuff more on old, part of it on old console edition and some of it on modern Bedrock. Still, these just, they got to go in there. They've got to. They're really cool, especially this one over here, the Moo Bloom. It's just such a interesting, unique thing. Really glad that they made this. Sad that the game was set to be canceled this year, so this will not be on the market very long. But the value really isn't that great with this one. So if you like this, but you're maybe a little bit on the fence about it, I would definitely say wait for a discount. I don't expect this to sell well in general, partly because of its price and partly because of the canceling of Minecraft Earth itself, the source material. So I think you should be able to find this eventually before too long, at a good discount and possibly even going on clearance. At full price though, I personally can't recommend it. If you like these things, try to pick them up off of Bricklink. You'll probably do yourself a favor there. Let me know what you think about this yourself, including its value and its features. If you want to see how it was built, you can check out my real-time build with no talking, no music, just the sound, the pure sound of putting the pieces together on my Pure Builds channel, or you can see the speed build, which is, your typical sped up thing with a little bit of musical accompaniment. Links in the end screen and the video description, as well as on my main channel page. And I'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for watching.